book besties, welcome back to another video, and the first video that I'm filming in 2024, which is crazy, but today we're going to be talking through all the books as of now on my physical 2024 TBR. So I have a mondo stack of books over here. I've been pulling them off my shelves and just kind of looking around at my TBR cart who's sitting next to me, all the things, trying to piece together my 2024 TBR, and we have a very solid start. I have some books on my 2024 TBR that I have a feeling could be potential all-time faves, like just from the descriptions and the blurbs and knowing the authors and knowing what I've heard about them and the recommendations around them. I am so excited, and I feel like I'm entering 2024 the most excited and energized that I've ever felt for my reads and for creating and for talking about books. And I'm just so energized and I'm inspired, and I'm excited that you're here to take on this year of reading with me. I just want you to know that I'm grateful for you for being here, whether you found me on TikTok or on Instagram or found me here on YouTube to begin with. Like, whatever brought you here, I am so glad that you're here, and I'm so grateful that I have a community where I get to share my love of books and have people that support me and uplift me and understand me and are open to like talking about books with me. Like, it's just so soul fulfilling, and it's literally a dream. So thank you for being here. Before I get way too in my feels, we can jump into the books, but I did want to take a moment and say Happy New Year, Happy 2024, and thank you for being here and being a part of my book bestie online community. I love you. I'm so thankful. All right, but sappiness aside, let's jump into the books, the good stuff, why you're here. I have a major stack of books over here. I'm not even gonna try to lift them all. Maybe I should. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Oh no, oh no. No, what? I bent my book. Gosh dang it. Thanks. All right, so as much as I wish that I was organized and I had these sorted by genre or anything like that, we're not going to get that deep into it. I'm just going to go through book by book as I pulled them off my shelves and just kind of show you what I'm hoping to get through, what's on my 2024 physical TBR as of now, and give you kind of a brief overview of what my 2024 TBR is looking like. So first up, we have A Little Life, and this is on my TBR because I actually have already started to dip my toe into this. This is the most tragically brutal, beautiful book I think I've ever read. I am not even halfway through it yet, and wow, this book is literally touching me, changing me. Like, this is the book I will think about for the rest of my life, I think. I love this so much. But yes, this is definitely a book that's on my 2024 TBR because I'm already halfway through it. We're just at the start of January now, but I know that I'm going to be finishing this book hopefully this month. So A Little Life, 100%. This has been procrastinated and pushed off for way too long, and I'm finally getting to it. New year, new me. We are getting to it. We are doing it. Yes, and I'm loving it so far. Next is a book I actually just picked up from the library the other day, and that is None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. This is a thriller that I believe is written in like podcast format in a lot of ways. Like, I think it is about podcast hosts, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, it definitely is. So I have heard that the audiobook of this is even better. So I have the audiobook on hold from the library, yet I have the physical copy right here from the library. So I haven't fully decided if I'm going to try to read the physical copy or if I'm going to take the people's word for it on TikTok who told me that the audiobook is better. I don't know for sure. But this book, in one way or another, will be consumed this year because I've heard amazing things. I've only read one Lisa Jewell book, and that was... I have it on my shelf. That was And Then She Was Gone, and that book was dark and twisted, and I enjoyed it a lot. It just kind of left me feeling creeped out, which I think is a testament to how good she is at writing and creating stories that are really gripping and chilling. And so I'm excited to see what she did with this one. I've heard amazing things about this. Maybe I should speed this up and do a little bit less of an overview of the books, or we're gonna be here all freaking day. Next up, I have two Mia Sheridan books, and I read Archer's Voice at the beginning of last year. Really enjoyed that book. So I have a couple more Mia Sheridans on my TBR for this year. So first of all is More Than Words, and I really don't know anything about this book aside from the fact that it is Mia Sheridan. So I have the physical copy. I actually got this from Book Outlet for like $4, which was a major steal. Shop secondhand books if you can, like you will get the best prices in the world. So this is on my TBR, as well as Stinger, which I got just from Target. I also don't know much about this. I think it's kind of a unexpected opposites attract type of romance. I have a feeling this is going to have a lot of spice too. Just by reading the blurb, I think this is kind of a steamy, spicier romance. So we're going to see. I have mixed feelings on Mia Sheridan because I loved Archer's Voice. However, I didn't love Most of All You. I thought it was just kind of okay. It was kind of a 3-star book for me. So we will see what I think of these ones. While we're on the topic of Mia Sheridan, Travis by her is also on my TBR for 2024. I don't own the physical copy of that one, but Travis is on Kindle Unlimited and it's definitely on my radar. It's like a redemption novel for Travis from Archer's Voice. If you've read Archer's Voice, you know Travis. So I think it's kind of like an interconnected standalone with Archer's Voice, and it is Travis's redemption novel. So I don't know. I want to get to that this year, see what it's all about. Next up, I have A Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy plus novella. So there are kind of 3.5 books here. I have heard amazing things about this. This is another book that I think is not podcast format, but I think it's like mixed media format. Like I think it's about her senior thesis project or something that she's doing on a local murder mystery. And so this is a YA kind of mystery murder thriller series that I have heard really amazing things about. Some people say it's their favorite thriller series and favorite thriller of all time. So I'm really excited to get to this one. I've heard great things about book 1 and 2, less great things about book 3. I've heard that one's kind of where it disappointed a lot of people, but I don't know. I'll take that with a grain of salt. I'll keep it in mind, but I want to form my own opinions about it. But I'm really excited to get to this series this year. Next up, I have I Let You Go by Claire McIntosh. And I think I saw this randomly on TikTok or Instagram, and I bought it off of Pango Books like almost instantly. I think I saw like a quote or something from it, or like someone did like, you know how people do like the aesthetics of a book and do like the kind of like the collages of pictures and stuff. Something about it convinced me to read this book. So I picked it up and it's been on my TBR for probably close to a year or over a year. This is going to be the year that I get to it. This is actually towards the top of my TBR because it sounds pretty good. I think it's like a thriller mystery with romance in it as well, I believe. Don't entirely know, but it looks really good. So I'm excited to see what this is all about too. Then I have 3 Kristen Hannah books on my TBR. First and foremost, I want to get to The Nightingale by Kristen Hannah. I'm actually doing, spoiler alert, I'm doing a reading vlog starting with A Little Life, but The Nightingale is also going to be included in that vlog. So I have big plans for getting to this one. This is so many people's like favorite book of all time. I've just been intimidated by the length of it, and also books that are set far in the past. This takes place, I think it's World War II. Sometimes books that are set in history intimidate me for some reason. I don't know. I feel like I doubt my intellect, and I doubt if I'm smart enough, I guess, to read historical books. I don't know. It's definitely my own insecurity speaking. That's kind of why I've been putting off all of Kristen Hannah books, because I think that all of them are kind of deeper historical books, and I've just been doubting if I will understand / enjoy them. But gone are the days of self-doubt. Again, new year, new me. We're doing it. The Nightingale is first on my Kristen Hannah TBR. And I also have True Colors, which I think is about sister dynamics, which I'm really excited because I have a sister and we are very close and I just love her. So anything mom related or sister related, since I'm so close with my mom and sister, like it just tugs at the heartstrings. I'm excited for this one. And then I have The Great Alone by Kristen Hannah as well, which I've heard 5-6 stars, a lot of people's favorite book as well. The Great Alone and The Nightingale, I feel like, are the 2 Kristen Hannah books I hear the most positive things about. So definitely on my TBR for this year, and I'm excited to get to them. Then I have 2 Abby Jimenez books, and that is both in the Friend Zone series. So I have The Friend Zone and the Happy Ever After playlist. I accidentally read book 3 in this series last year before reading book 1 and 2. So that was Life's Too Short by Abby Jimenez. So I accidentally read that one early, but it made sense, so that's okay. But I do want to get to the rest of the series, so book 1 and 2 are on my TBR. Then I have a fantasy, and that is Divine Rivals. So this is book 1 in a 2-part series as of now. I think it's going to be a trilogy, but Divine Rivals is on my TBR for January, actually. I want to get to this really soon here. And after Divine Rivals, I think I'm going to read Ruthless Vows kind of shortly after. That's the second book in the series that actually just came out in December. So I will probably be picking that one up from Target or Amazon or whatever, ordering it and reading it right after Divine Rivals if I do enjoy it. Then my camera's about to die. I am going to be so upset if my camera dies in the middle of this. But then I have the Dreamland Billionaire series. So I have the fine print, terms and conditions, and final offer. This is just a billionaire romance series that I've heard really great things about, that I've been wanting to read for close to 2 years now probably, but it's a longer series, like just the books are longer, so I've been putting it off, but I've never really read a billionaire romance, so I'm excited to get to these. These are towards the top of my romance TBR for the year. And then after that, I want to read kind of the interconnected series that Lauren Asher just started, and that is the first book in the Lakefront Billionaire series. So Love Redesigned. I've heard that if you're going to read the Dreamland Billionaires, if you're going to read the Dreamland Billionaires series, to read that first before Love Redesigned, because there is going to be like some spoilers or some crossover or something. But long story short, Dreamland Billionaires first, and then I want to start Love Redesigned. And then I have another series, the Inheritance Scheme series. Long story short, if you watched my last book haul, you know what happened, but I tried to order all 3 books. Book 1 and 3 got canceled, so I currently only have book 2. I need to pick up book 1 so I can get started on this, but the Inheritance Scheme series by Jennifer Lynn Barnes is another YA mystery series that is on my TBR. I read the Natural series last year, absolutely adored it. Like, I ate it up. One of my favorite series of all time, I think. And so that convinced me to pick up Inheritance Games by her as well, and I'm excited to get to that. I also want to mention Magnolia Parks. They are like on display up here. I can probably tilt this and show you. Up there, Magnolia Parks is up there. I have Magnolia Parks, Daisy Hates, and then the Magnolia Parks, Daisy Hates, Magnolia Parks A Long Way Home, and Daisy Hates The Great Undoing. I have all 4 of those up there on display because they're probably the most beautiful books that I own. I didn't want to grab them down and ruin my bookshelf display, but those are 100% on my TBR. I'm going to get those on my Kindle probably and read them on my Kindle, because the physical copies, I got the UK original covers and they are just chef's kiss. They're too pretty to touch. They really are. So they will stay in their little display bookcase up there, and I will read them on my Kindle probably. And then my lovely little TBR cart here. I'm just gonna grab them and bring them over here. Hold up. First up, I have A Man Named Ove, or Ove, whatever you say. I have been wanting to read this for a very long time because the movie came out last year or the year before. And I really want to watch the movie, but I've heard the book is phenomenal. So you got to read the book first before watching the movie. So this is definitely on my TBR. I feel like this is going to be just a really heartwarming, touching story. Then I have the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy by Stephanie Garber. I don't own the 3rd book, but I got book 1 and 2 from the UK as well because the covers are just stunning. This is a fantasy trilogy that I really want to get to this year. I think it's kind of like whimsical, fantastical, almost feels like a fairy tale retelling is kind of the vibes I'm getting. So I'm really interested to see. I've heard this is a lot of people's favorite book, so we'll see. I haven't read any Stephanie Garber before, so I'm excited. Then I have another kind of mystery thriller, and that is The Maid. This is another book that I've heard really great things about. I've heard this is a thriller that is also like touching, heartwarming. Like, people say like they cry when they read this book. So that thrillers normally don't make me cry. So I'm a little bit intrigued about like what the deal is with this book, but I'm really excited to get to The Maid this year. Then I have a couple just standalone romances. So I have You Deserve Each Other, which is kind of a closed door, very minimal or no spice romance that I'm very excited. I think it's kind of a second chance romance where they are fiancés though, like they're fiancés, they break up and second chance, something like that. I don't know. I've heard great things about this. I've heard it's kind of just like a fun rom-com that's really funny and really sweet and really heartwarming. So we'll see. I'm excited. I feel like this is going to be a good kind of palate cleanser filler book in between some of the heavier reads. Then I have a spicy, smutty book, and that is The Nanny. I have heard the spiciest things about this book. This is about a nanny that has an OnlyFans account, and the dad of the kids she nannies is like subscribed to her OnlyFans. Spice. Wow. I'm going to get to this one. I feel like this is going to be another filler book that's going to be really, really great for kind of in between the heavier reads or like the longer series, just kind of keep things spicy and quick and fast and that type of thing. Then I have In the Likely Event by Rebecca Yarros. I've heard this is another super emotional read that so many people adore. even though I didn't fully love Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros, I think I could really enjoy her romance books. So I'm excited to read this year. This is a lot of people's like favorite 5-star read, like emotional tearjerker book. So we'll see what I think. I'm interested. It'll be my first Rebecca Yarros read that isn't Fourth Wing, isn't a fantasy. And then last but not least, I have Ghosts by Dolly Alderton. She is the author of the memoir, Everything I Know About Love, which I adore that book. I adore that TV series. I'm super excited to get to this. I think this is gonna be kind of like a women's literary fiction. It's like a romantic comedy, but also women's fiction. So I'm excited about this, and I feel like I could really relate to the main character in this one. She sounds like she's gonna be super relatable, kind of quirky, and just authentic and honest, and I love that in a book. I love a strong female main character. All right, that was quick. That was a lot of books that we just covered in a relatively short period of time, and as of now, that is the beginning kind of structure foundation of my 2024 TBR. That does not include the phenomenal new releases that we are getting this year. Don't worry, I have a full video planned that hopefully will be coming out shortly of my most anticipated new releases that are coming out in 2024 that I have or will be pre-ordering. Like, I cannot wait for the new books that we are about to be blessed with this year. So don't worry, that video is coming out, but these are the current physical books on my 2024 TBR that I know I have a priority of getting to, that I know are kind of on my mind for the year. But that said, I'm a mood reader. There are new releases coming out. There are going to be new books circulating and being talked about that I'm going to want to pick up. This will shapeshift and adapt and change. You know me, I don't stick to anything too rigidly because I think it takes the fun out of reading, but I also really love making TBRs because I think it's fun to get kind of excited about the upcoming books on your shelves and what you have to look forward to. So comment down below if we share any of the same books on our 2024 TBR, or if we don't, comment down below what is on your 2024 TBR that you are most excited to read. That was fun, and that's all I have for you today. So thank you for tuning in as I kind of piece together the foundational components of my 2024 TBR. And make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss future videos where I will be reading these and talking through them and sharing my thoughts and opinions on all the books we just talked about. So subscribe and stick around, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye, book besties.